Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something that hangs over a lot of independent gym owners.
Yeah, boutique studios, fitness entrepreneurs too.
Right, that whole challenge of needing to switch your business software, it feels like this huge hurdle,
Yeah,
often full of fear.
absolutely. And our guide for this deep dive is actually a really practical white paper from Jim Thomas. He's a gym business expert.
Okay,
It's called Peace of Mind Gym Software Conversion, a practical guide.
peace of mind.
Yeah,
I like the sound of that already. So our mission here is really to cut through that fear. We
exactly.
want to unpack what Jim's guide says, figure out why owners feel so stuck with software that frankly isn't working for them.
And what good software actually looks like, and crucially, what a good conversion process looks like.
Right. How to make that switch so it actually benefits your business, your team, your members. Let's dive in.
Okay. So Jim Thomas's paper, it really gets to the heart of the problem right away. He points out that for so many owners, their current software is just a source of frustration, not a help.
Like, what kind of frustrations are we talking about?
Well, clunky billing systems maybe, things that miss payments, or just an overwhelming number of features you never even touch.
Uh-huh. Feature overload.
Yeah. And then there's support that's like impossible to reach when something breaks, or high fees for tools you don't even use.
It does sound frustrating. Almost like having this powerful tool you can't really use properly.
Yeah.
How do owners end up there?
It often starts pretty simply. Maybe, you picked the software a friend recommended,
Sure. Word of mouth?
or you saw a really slick sales demo, promised everything, then your business grows, you start adding features, email, texting, scheduling, POS.
All the bells and whistles.
Exactly. But then you realize you're paying for a ton of stuff you either don't need or maybe you don't know how to use it effectively.
Or it just doesn't work smoothly with the other parts.
Right. And that nice, manageable monthly fee you started with,
Suddenly, it's not so manageable.
not so manageable. Add in the pain of bad customer support, a confusing system you fight with daily,
Yeah.
and you really start to feel locked in. The paper points out the software industry can be pretty good at making you feel stuck.
That feeling, paying for frustration, essentially. It seems like a key point Jim Thomas makes.
It is, and his message is really powerful. It's your gym. You deserve tools that actually help you, that work for you.
The software should be helping you accelerate, not putting the brakes on.
Precisely. Which, leads right into the next big question the guide tackles. What does good software look like?
Yeah.
And just as important, what does a good conversion process look like?
Okay.
The main goal, according to Jim Thomas, make your gym easier to do business with.
Easier for everyone involved.
Yeah, for your team, for your members, and importantly for you, the owner.
Right. So simplifying things, making it efficient. What does that look like in the software itself?
Well, the paper outlines some key characteristics. It needs to be intuitive, easy for anyone on your team to just pick up and use.
Okay. Less training time needed.
Exactly. It should streamline the headaches, billing, collections, make them reliable. Integrated communication is huge, too. Email, text, all in one place, ideally.
Mm-hmm.
And handles the core stuff smoothly. Scheduling, point of sale, maybe access control. Basically, it needs to support your growth, not hold you back.
That makes sense. But you mentioned the conversion process itself. That's often the scary part, right?
It is, and that's a major focus of this peace of mind approach. The transition needs care. It should be guided, organized, totally transparent.
So the guide isn't just saying, find better software. It's actually mapping out how to switch without, well, losing your mind.
Or your data, yes.
Yeah.
The paper details 6 key steps. Things a really good software partner should provide for a smooth, secure transition. This is kind of where the rubber meets the road.
Okay, step 1. What's the very first thing a good partner does?
It actually starts before any technical work.
Yeah.
Step 1 is a pre-conversion audit.
An audit. Okay.
Yeah. A really good partner doesn't just sign you up. They listen first. They help you kind of dissect your current setup.
What does that involve? Looking at everything.
Pretty much. Tools you use, features you pay for but maybe don't need, analyzing billing cycles, payment processing fees, usage logs even.
Wow, okay.
The goal is alignment. It's not just about moving data. It's understanding where you are now and what exactly needs to transfer to make the new system work for you. Helps you see if you've been overpaying too.
That sounds crucial. Like mapping the territory first. What's next after the audit?
Step 2 is all about the human touch. A dedicated onboarding specialist.
Ah, a specific person.
Yes, not just a generic support line. The paper stresses this needs to be a real human assigned to you, someone who actually understands the gym business.
Not just tech support, but someone who gets the context.
Exactly. Your single point of contact
Yeah.
walks you through everything, gives you timelines, checklists, and crucially, someone you can actually reach. It's that hand-holding that builds confidence.
Having that one person must make a huge difference during a stressful change. Okay, step 3. Probably the biggest source of anxiety for owners, the data.
Oh, absolutely. Step 3, seamless data transfer. This is like non-negotiable.
What does seamless mean here?
It means an explicit guarantee. 0 data loss. Every member profile, credit cards handled securely, obviously notes, products, session packs. Everything transfers. And a proper migration involves automatic transfer, but also like rigorous testing before you go live. Validating accuracy, minimizing downtime to hours, not days.
Okay.
And the guide has a really strong warning here. If a provider seems hesitant about guaranteeing full data migration, especially the credit card details, big red flag, walk away.
That's a clear line in the sand.
Yeah.
Okay, data's moved, verified. Now the team has to actually use this new system. Step 4.
Step 4 is training for you and your team. Comprehensive training.
Yeah.
Because, great software is useless if nobody can use it, right?
Right.
A good provider invests here. That means live training sessions tailored to different roles, not just pointing to a bunch of generic videos.
Although videos are useful too, right? For later.
Oh, yeah. On-demand resources are important for reinforcement, new hires, but that initial live training is key. Plus, ongoing free support phone, chat, email.
Good point.
Remember, most gym staff, they're passionate about fitness, not necessarily tech wizards. It needs to be easy to learn.
That focus on ease of use and training seems vital. What about the members? They'll have questions too.
Good point. That's step 5, built-in member support. Switching software definitely impacts members' billing, scheduling their online profiles.
So the software partner helps with that.
A supportive one does, yeah. They shouldn't leave you scrambling to write all those emails and announcements. They should give you templates, email, text explaining the change.
Okay.
Maybe provide member FAQs. And ideally, offer direct customer support for your members for common questions about the new system. That takes a huge load off your front desk.
Oh, wow. Offloading those initial member queries sounds like a massive relief. Okay, finally, step 6. This goes back to something we talked about earlier, the cost.
Exactly. Step 6, transparent pricing. We talked about the frustration of paying for features you don't use.
Yeah, the bundled fluff.
Right. The paper points out how owners get stuck paying for huge text limits they never hit, or marketing tools they already have, or duplicate systems forced into a package.
So good partners don't do that.
Good partners offer clear, scalable pricing. You pay for what you actually use. No hidden fees, no bundles you don't want. Predictable cost that grows with your usage.
Okay, that whole 6-step process sounds incredibly thorough. So if you're a gym owner and you're now thinking, okay, maybe I should look around, what specific questions should you ask potential providers?
The guide gives some really pointed, essential questions you need to ask straight up. Do you guarantee full data migration and reconciliation?
Non-negotiable.
Right. Will I get a dedicated human onboarding rep? Can I actually talk to other gym owners who've switched to your system?
References, basically. Good one.
What kind of help do you provide with member communication? Staff training? Is your pricing based on my usage, or is it bundled?
Getting clarity on that cost structure.
And this one's critical. What are your support response times? Can I get help at 6 a.m. on a Monday if something's wrong?
So practical. Because gyms don't run 9 to 5 Monday to Friday.
Exactly. And there's one more the guide suggests, which really gets to the core of whether they understand your business.
What's that?
It's asking, do you genuinely understand how my specific gym makes money? And how will your software either help that or potentially hurt it?
Wow, that shifts the conversation beyond just features, doesn't it? It's about the bottom line.
Totally. It frames the software as a strategic tool, not just an admin burden.
So, assuming you go through this process, find the right partner, what are the actual upsides? What benefits can you expect?
Well, the outcomes are pretty significant. A smoother experience for your members, because interacting is just easier.
Happier members.
Happier members. A more productive team, because they're not fighting the software. More consistent collections and billing, which helps cash flow. You probably save money by cutting out unused stuff. And honestly, just less stress, less worry for the owner.
It really sounds like it delivers on that core idea, making your gym easier to do business with.
It does. It frees you up, right? Lets you focus on the important stuff, coaching, building community, growing the business instead of wrestling with tech problems.
This deep dive into Jim Thomas's guide.
Yeah.
It's been really eye-opening. Reframe software conversion. It's not just this terrifying thing you have to do, but maybe a strategic opportunity.
Yeah, if you have the right partner and follow a good process,
That peace of mind approach seems key.
definitely. So, if you're out there listening and you feel stuck paying for systems that just aren't
Or
working,
your software is holding your team back or frustrating your members.
or you just know you need to grow and your current tech can't keep up,
Yeah.
the message here is pretty clear.
It's time to at least start exploring the options.
Yeah.
Start the conversation.
Okay. Thinking about all that,
Yeah.
the time wasted, the money on unused features, the morale hit from fighting software. Here's something to leave you with.
Okay.
Considering all those ongoing costs of staying with the wrong software, is the fear of switching actually costing you more than going through a peace of mind conversion process would?